I'll do is start off by fitting my herringbone so it matches nicely. Just gonna inspect it quickly to make sure everything's good. It looks good. What I'd like to do with my 3/8 inch chisel here, I'm going to look closely at the herringbone and I'm going to trim it at the exact same spot. So I'm going to line it up so I'll start off at a white portion. Now, if you put them together, they look mirrored. So, it's like that, see that? Then the other thing is, I don't want to put my purfling on in such a way that it doesn't match up. So I will mark out with a pencil my second line again, exactly where it is. Here I am with pencils. Here we go. Here it is. So I'll draw the center seam. Tape the herringbone on. It's lined up absolutely perfectly. So it just lines up ever so nicely. I like the way that looks. It's pretty nice. I'll carefully wrap this herringbone around the perimeter. Some herringbone doesn't have this flexible style of exterior, and it's not as easy to work with, which is really nice. This herringbone works well, and the polyester finish takes to it quite well. I found shellac and the water-based lacquer, they don't adhere as well to it. So
how many coats of poly do you have to put on you?
3 coats, 20 minutes apart, and then we'll cure it, and then level sand, and repeat that process, and then it's done. So
that's it, really?
6 coats. They end up being about 1 mil, like 1/1000th of an inch per coat after they're cured, and then it's done.
And that gives you like the same finishes on your HD 28 over there?
On which?
On your
yeah, totally. You got it. That way. I'm just gonna break these off. There's about an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/4 inch gap inside. But now I've got 100% faith in the fitment of my purfling, so it's good. And the next thing I'll do is fit my binding. So binding, as long as it's close, it'll be good. Because I'm going to start this from the butt end this time. It's a little hairier as far as like freaky deaky, not fuzzy wuzzy like fuzzy wood hair. Works well. Okay, so I've got it taped on, roughly, in place. What I'll do now is cut it off so it's about 1/8 of an inch longer on each side. There, so now it's too long, but it's very close. And I will cut the treble side so it's about 1/4 inch short. And there's absolutely no overlap. But I know that it won't end up being too long. You don't want it too long, and it won't be too short. It'll be just right. So, there we go. So that's good. Now that I know the purfling is fitted properly, the binding, the butt end, is the only portion of the binding that will be exposed, like where there's a seam that one can see. So I'll take these. Then with my chisel, shave off a nice straight line. Okay, so good. This one here. That's nice. So now what I'll do, see if I can tape it back in place. Dead centered. See if my waist lines up. Oh, it does, look at that. Okay, and then back to the other side. Yeah, it's quite lovely. I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom of the right hand piece. Just a sliver. Not even a sliver. And there, that looks great. So now I know that I can glue and get it all done up. This is when it gets a little wild. I want to make sure that I don't mess up anything now. And in the next, I don't know, hopefully 6 minutes, this will all be tied and glued. That one stays there. I used to make everybody, I wouldn't offer a herringbone like this. You do like a black, white, black, black, brown, black, purfling strips, and each one was individual. So there would be these people, these poor people with, 7 different pieces of purfling and 1 piece of binding with purfling on the bottom, and gluing it all at once, and it was tough. So to make my life easier now, before I do in fact glue, a couple things, and I'll start off by getting a couple clamps. I'll hold the guitar in place. Make sure there's nothing underneath that'll end up getting crushed. be somewhat acceptable. Just a little bit of downward pressure, not enough to crush my guitar, but enough to keep it held in place. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to start off at the butt end. And actually,
I guess you can glue the same time. Apply the glue to the binding.
if you want,
Or is it better to?
you might find that it helps, but I really will find it's much easier because you don't have this glue covered thing flailing around. But you know, there's always a different method that ends up working. If it works for you, and that's good. I'm just gonna move this over a little. Okay. Here we go, guys. Start off with the entire lower bout and get squeeze out everywhere. Don't worry about it. We'll scrape it off later. But you're better off having a lot of glue and a mess to clean up than not enough glue and binding that's not actually glued onto your guitar. So don't be shy.
Because probably those sides.
Just spend a little more glue on this next one. It'll all be good. Sure it'll be fine.
That the poly finish, is that gonna add a bit of
I think it does.
seal?
I believe it's like almost like a glue, because that's the one thing that I noticed was this herringbone on other finishes. I would notice minor checking lines in between the glue join where that plastic perimeter is.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the poly, it seems to like seep in there or something and it glasses over. It doesn't seem to separate, it seems to like tie them together quite nicely. Okay. Now, I'm going to start off on this end. Start off with my left side. This is when you'll be cursing a little bit. And this is also when I'll use tape. Try to use tape. Oops. Okay. Okay, so that's a decent start. Okay, you don't want to take too much time. Take too much time. Big mess. The nice thing is for correcting any of this, you can always just reroute it. You know, just route it off, start again. I've done that once or twice. Yeah, like this. This is good. That's not so bad. Okay. If you get enough glue on there, the glue will squeeze up between the binding and the purfling. Just help it here a little bit better. And now, take a paper towel and water. And clean up just that atrocious mess that's all over this.